May bago? Uy, akin yan!
Wow! Tamis alat! Lutong lambot! Mas nagpapasarap!
Last pita!
Wow! Sa tamis alat sarap! Mas pinasarap pa, pita!
Alright, welcome to the third game. This time around, dito naman tayo sa ating Namco Mitsubishi Ilocos Cup 35 and above. Vaikon Builders is going up against 3MD Logistics. Welcome once again ang ating Bounty Fresh GABL 2025. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Benji Santiago kasama ko rito. Si Dino Lee. Expectations naman natin para sa ball game na ito, Dino?
Well, this is going to be an exciting ball game because we have two of the hottest teams in this division. Vaikon Builders 3-0 undefeated in this tournament, while itong 3MD Logistics, after losing their first game, they're on a roll, winning their last two games, especially their upset win without Alan Tan against Changs pa
I know. Oo nga.
2 weeks ago.
Well, titingnan natin, ano? Of course, they keep on continuing with their wins. A streak will be broken coming into this one.
This is the Bounty Fresh Grace Alumni Basketball League 2025. It's the third game of our quadruple header in the Namco Mitsubishi Ilocos Cup 35 and above division between 3MD Logistics and Vaikon Builders. Now it's time to meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for 3MD Logistics. At point guard, number 6, Drummer Albino. At shooting guard, number 20, Jack Chan. At small forward, number 7, Brad Chong. At power forward, number 4, Alan Tan. And at center, number 15, Dale Nang. Coaching 3MD Logistics is Marv's Geronimo. Now let's meet the starters for Vaikon Builders. At point guard, number 10, Ken Chua. At shooting guard, number 24, Elijah Lau. At small forward, number 18, Jones Ang. At power forward, number 19, Alex Tan. And at center, number 20, Julius Gamboa. The coach for Vaikon Builders is William Tan. Our referee.
And our starters para sa ball game na ito. Nice to see Alan Tan back. And most probably he's already 100% along with Jomar Albino, Brad Chong, Dale Nang, and Jack Chan. Kendrick Chua, Brian Jones ang para sa Vaikon Builders, Alex Tan, Julius Gamboa, along with Elijah Lau. Again, dito pa rin tayo sa SGS Stadium, 35 and above. And again, another fun day for this particular game day. Pagka-Sunday talaga eh. 4 ang nilalaro natin. Of course, we still have the Wednesday schedule and then the Friday schedule where we play naman the Seniors Division. So many things for all of you to enjoy as this game gets going.
Crucial in this game. You still don't have Albert Chua.
Wala pa ba? O di ba usually off the bench?
Sabi ni Coach Wilton,
Oo.
late lang daw. Hahabol daw. Pero sa ngayon, wala pa ako. Hindi ko pa nakikita si Albert Chua dito.
Dale Nang sinks a three-pointer for 3MD Logistics. Yep, sige lang.
And you have Brian Bernabe, saka si Coach Nino siya. Stretching. Kasi late din sila dumating.
Jones Ang missing the long distance shot, but there's some pushing and shoving, trying to grab that rebound, and this is going to go against 3MD. Steal, Alan Tan. And Jomar Geronimo, wala naman nakasunod sa kanya, so an easy layup.
Coming from a steal. Itong 3MD Logistics, number 2 defense in this 35 above division. While itong Vaikon Builders, the #1 scoring team.
But has yet to make any production here in the early goings ng ating first period. Jones Ang, we know what he can do.
And if you can remember the last game when we covered yung 3MD Logistics against Chang Spa.
Oo nga eh.
Surprising, I guess not just me but a lot of people when they won that game without last season's MVP. Itong si Alan Tan.
He was present pero he was not in uniform dahil nga parang may iniinda, di ba? So,
But prior to this game, you were covering him already, right? Dun
Yes.
Sabi mong yung inter-school.
tignan muna natin ito, BYD. Fast break of the game natin. That finish from Jomar Albino, a side of 3MD Logistics. Vaikon Builders finally breaking a cold spell at the onset, and 2 for 2 for Alex San that time. (5-2) 3MD. Jomar Albino fronted by Alex Tan. And a bad pass. Jones Ang dribbles it down. 2-on-1 situation here. Wow, making a stop all by himself.
And they've been doing that.
I know.
In their last game, dami rin nila na-prevent na transition baskets from Chang Spa.
Traveling call on Alan Tan.
Solid din talaga dumepensa itong sila Dale ng Jomar. Lalo na ito si Jomar Albino. He had like 3 steals. Si Mark Jason Tan meron din 3 steals, 2 blocks. Then Dale ng 4 steals, 1 block.
Alex Tan. Tumama daw. Teka, referee. Mali yata. Yon, okay. Made the necessary correction. Bola pa rin ng Vaikon Builders. Looking for their first field goal. Yun lang. Jones Ang wasn't aware and shot clock was going down.
Hindi kasi tumama dun sa ring yung tira ni Elijah Lau. That's why walang reset ng shot clock.
Already 3 turnovers against Vaikon Builders. Jomar Albino goes cross court. Alex San bringing it down for Vaikon Builders. Jones Ang missing. Jomar Albino. Where's the rest of his teammates? Goes cross court. Tail Nang earlier a 3. Uy! Unforced errors of Vaikon Builders.
And this is where you might miss a guy like Albert Chua.
Oo.
Because ang nangyari ngayon, yung mga shooters at ibang players ng Vaikon Builders, they're forced to handle the ball.
Jack Chan just buried a 3-pointer from the left side and increasing the lead. The 3MD Logistics up 6 right now. Take a look at this. 8-2, 3MD. Timeout brought to us by Chusarap.
May bago? Uy, akin yan!
Wow! Tamis alat! Lutong lambot! Mas nagpapasarap!
Last Fita!
Wow! Sa tamis alat sarap! Mas pinasarap pa, Pita.
Well, Vaikon Builders, the number of turnovers that they have 4, and they only have 2 points to show for so far.
You have to give credit talaga dito sa depensa ng 3MD Logistics.
That's
why-
another turnover.
That's why they're the number 2 defensive team.
Jomar Albino puts it in.
Solid, stable guard for 3MD Logistics in his last game. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals for Jomar Albino.
Alan Tan, despite the challenge of Jones Han, managing to get the basket.
First 2 points for Alan Tan, who's averaging 17.5 points per game in his first 2 games for 3MD Logistics.
Wala pa rin si Albert Chua, kaya si Brian Bernabe ngayon ang nagdadala ng bola for Vaikon. Alan Tan touching the ball last. 5 seconds to shoot here for Vaikon.
Baka napagod din hindi kaya napagod din si Albert Chua dun sa 40 above division. Kakampi niya dun si Alan Tan, di ba?
Namco, Mitsubishi, Ilocos drive of the game with Jomar Albino. Ayan, kasama rin yan, si Jomar Albino.
Tapos coach ata nila si Nino.
Oh, Nino Sia.
Teammate din nila si Jomar Albino.
Yes. Sabi nga sa'yo, nakita ko dun, parang all-star. All-star ng Greece. Alan Tan with his first basket. And it stretches their lead right now up to 12.
And if you're Coach Will Tan, you're frustrated with how your team has started, only scoring 2 points first 5 minutes of this ball game.
And wala pang field goal, ha? You see, ayun, finally. You see, nag-deliver.
Walang warm-up yan, ha? Walang practice shooting. Unang tira, pasok.
Well, may mga ganun maganda yung gising. Getting a good feel of the ball game already. And Brian Bernabe trying to crowd Alan Tan. He's going to be called for the personal.
Personal foul. First team foul. Substitution. Shot clock at
14-5. Lamang itong 3MD Logistics. They have the basketball. Jomar Albino. Oh! Wow, the 3-pointer pa.
Ben King. Pumutok din yan nung last game niya
Yes.
nung Chunks pa. Everything falling for them in that game.
Grabe, parang lahat doon nag-deliver.
And yun naman din ang sabi ni Coach Marvin Geronimo. Ang sabi niya is, they just need to knock down their shots.
This is how they're playing. Ben Quing making that basket from long distance. And you see from the baseline, that's a miss. Transition play, Alan Tan, no! Alex Tan, where does he go to? Straight to the basket. Got blocked right there. Mark Jason Tan. Ito ngayon, 3MD. Alan Tan. Hindi na siya magkakamali at that time.
6 points for Alan Tan. Itong 3MD Logistics, number 3 when it comes to fast break. They're averaging 16.7 fast break points per game. And as you can see, they're looking to run.
Inusia. Looking for Jones Ang to click on his outside shots.
Another block there. It was either Mark Jason Tan or Alan Tan who got that block.
19-5, 3MD still have the lead. As we take a look at this Masumat's power move of the game, Alan Anson Tan. We have a choose-up timeout.
I don't go for bare minimum, be it for myself, my career, or my car.
Coming from the States, we have very high standards, and Namco has not only met my expectations, but their staff has been more than accommodating.
Kaya naman sa Namco talaga, napanatag ang loob ko.
Sure win ako with Namco.
Detoy ni Ed Dakiwag, proudly Ilocano. Detoy ti Namco. Detoy ti Mapagtalkan. Also, proudly Ilocano.
And here, back at the SGS Stadium, again, ito po yung Namco Mitsubishi Ilocos Cup natin, 35 and above. So, nandito pa rin tayo sa ating first period.
Only 5 points for Vaikon. Number 1 scoring team. Not how you want to start a ball game.
Jones Ang is still scoreless.
You have to give credit dun sa depensa. Pero iba yung may Albert Chua. Setting up everything for everyone.
Ito nga, nasa loob pa si playing coach Marvin Geronimo. And Alan Tan adds up to his production here. And he's got 8 points.
Grabe, 16 points na to. Wala, no signs of Albert Chua.
Ano ba itong linggo na to? Linggo ba talaga ng tambakan ngayon?
Yung first 2 games na yun, tambak eh.
Kaya nga eh. Shot clock is down to 3. And there you go. And you see with another field goal. He's got 4 points. 4 of the 8 Vaikon builders coming off the bench.
6 of the 8.
6 of the 8 naman?
Two 3-pointers coming from him. The lone bright spot in this first quarter for Vaikon.
And here comes down with the rebound, Brian Bernabe. Will have to be the playmaker here para sa Vaikon builders. Na wala pang Albert Chua. And you see Bernabe short. It's Marvin Geronimo. Uy, hawi.
Gawakan ni Elijah Lim yung kamay ni Jones Ang. That's definitely an offensive foul.
Number 31, Elijah Lim. His first personal foul.
21-8 with a minute remaining here sa ating first quarter. Lalong lumayo eh. Jones Ang, hurried shot, no! Brian Bernabe lumanding sa kanya yung bola, why not? Flyby move! Ayaw pa rin. And here we go the other way. Walang bola. Pagangat. Nice defensive stop right there by Vaikon.
So far, nahihirapan makakuha ng quality looks itong Vaikon builders. Especially with Jones Ang. Yung mga tira niya talagang may hand on his shot attempt.
Uy, knockout play. Martin will be shooting free throws here.
Number 28, Mitsubishi. His first personal foul. 17 foul.
Only 34.6 seconds to play here in the first. And look at the build-up of the lead, the 3MD Logistics. Ayan na. Isang factor to consider. Alam mo yung araw pumapasok sa side ng court ng 3MD.
Pero shoot naman eh. Yan yung kino-complain ni Gilbert Sanidad in their first game. Right. Against the same opponent, yung Vaikon Builders.
Ano magagawa natin?
Parang nagmamaneho ka lang rin ng kotse.
Exactly.
Pero in this instance, you're shooting free throws.
Marvin Geronimo on his way to the basket.
Doesn't score a lot of points, but he gets his first 2 points. Itong si Marvin Geronimo.
Up 16 na ang 3MD Logistics.
Kota na nga siya, 1 point per game lang average ni Marvin Geronimo.
Inusia with a miss. Hindi na ito aabot. But well enough para rin sa panig ng 3MD Logistics to have their way and get things going for them at the end of the first 10 minutes of play. Vaikon Builders, well, walang Albert Chua. But is it the end already for Vaikon Builders? Maaga pa naman. Inusia. Sabi niya, okay. Some of the players need to step up and to contribute. Alan Tan, this is the way he's playing and he's feeling relaxed. It seems like he's back into his 100%. And 24-8 at the end of the first quarter. And here we go in the second quarter of action. And back in the first 10 minutes, how about the 58% shooting ng 3MD Logistics and the Vaikon Builders limited to only 12%.
Forcing another turnover there.
Foul on number 37.
Make that 9 turnovers for Vaikon Builders. Para sa akin, yung depensa talaga ng 3MD Logistics has been their anchor in their wins. In their 2 wins so far in this tournament.
Mas marami pa yung turnovers kaysa sa puntos.
Oh,
3 pump fakes. Everything falling. MJ Tan, or Jason Tan, para sa 3MD.
One of the main players in their win against Changs pa, itong si Mark Jason Tan. 15 points, 11 rebounds.
Mantala ito, gumagawa ng parana kasi Inusia. And Inusia's got what, 8 points?
8 points.
Oo,
Yung 2 points si Alexander Tan dalawang free throws. But they need to do a better job on the defensive end.
Abang-abang lang sa ilalim. He decided for the kick. Well, playing coach. He can see everything. 28-10 para sa panig ng 3MD. Mantala, lost itong Vaikon Builders right now. Bernabe with a miss. Fast break in the making here. Oh, foiled it. Muffed it for Elijah Lim. Brian Bernabe goes straight to the basket. First 2 points for Brian Bernabe. 28-12. 3MD Logistics. Nasa loob na yan, lumabas pa, pero okay lang. Nagawa ng paraan. Mark Jason Tan.
Relentless when it comes to getting those rebounds, itong si Mark Jason Tan.
Alex San underneath, challenged by Mark Jason Tan. Kelvin Ang trying to get closer. Chinaga. Kinuha sa tiyaga. Hindi minadali. Disciplined the way they're executing their plays here in the first half. And ang Brennan elastomeric points in the paint natin still favoring itong panig ng 3MD Logistics. Another choose-up timeout.
I don't go for bare minimum, be it for myself, my career, or my car.
Coming from the States, we have very high standards, and Namco has not only met my expectations, but their staff has been more than accommodating.
Kaya naman sa Namco talaga, napanatag ang loob ko.
Sure win ako with Namco.
Detoy ni Ed Dakiwag, proudly Ilocano. Detoy ti Namco. Detoy ti mapagtalkan. Also, proudly Ilocano.
May bago? Uy, akin yan!
Wow! Tamis alat! Lutong lambot! Mas nagpapasarap!
Last fita!
Wow! Sa tamis alat sarap, mas pinasarap pa, pita.
Trying to make the necessary adjustment at the panig ng Vaikon Builders. Down 20 here in the second period.
3MD Logistics looking like a championship contender. Joining Vaikon Builders and Lacherie with how they're playing in their last two games and including this game.
Jones Ang still scoreless in the game. Alam mo, nasanay itong panig ng 3MD Logistics nung hindi maglaro si Alan Tan. Off-balance shot for Alan Tan is already in double figures. Nasabi nila, okay, maganda yung chemistry kahit walang Alan Tan. Nagawa nila ng paraan eh. Look at this. Oh, delayed whistle right there. And Alan Tan's gonna be called. Only his first lang naman.
And I think andito na si Albert Chua, nakabihis na. So, he might have something to say about Tambakan Sunday.
Yeah, medyo napangiti siya sa layo ah. Layo ng habulin namin ah.
Dapat kahit ano lang, mga 18 lang.
Kaya,
masyadong malaki yung 22. Sabi niya, grabe naman kayo. Hindi naman ako ganun kagaling.
Parang dodoblehin ko pa kaagad. Papasok ako, dodoblehin ko kaagad yung effort, ganon.
And we're not accustomed to seeing Vaikon scoring just 13 points for 15 minutes. Usually, yung ganyan, mga 3 minutes, nagagawa na nila yan eh.
Ito naman, panig na si Benhor Quing.
Second three-pointer.
Sige, ilayo na natin ng ilayo ito. Dahil kararating lang ni Albert Chua. Para mahirapan na talaga silang bumalik. Oh, nagawa pa ba ng paraan? Wow, great effort right there. Benhor Quing, push shot. Di pumasok.
Baka may event na pinanggalingan itong si Albert Chua.
Alan Tan, Alex Tan on him. Kelwin, binali pa yun, ha? 39-13.
Oh, another stop there.
Papabipi pa si Albert Chua. Hindi pa kagad makakapasok.
That's a good foul.
Foul number 28.
On the part of Lucia.
At tingnan muna natin ating Namco Mitsubishi Ilocos drive of the game. And Kelwin Ang with a nice looking shot.
I was gonna say, that's the reason why si Albert Chua ang pick ko to win the MVP. Because nakita naman natin pag wala siya.
Sa bagay.
They've only scored 13 points. Ayun, natapos na rin siya sa BP niya.
Brian Bernabe could not really hold the fort for Vaikon. Nino Sia missing the long distance shot.
Malaki-laki hahabulin nila dito.
Tsaka si Jones Ang hindi pa nakaka-score dito, Dino.
you can't get clean looks. And sinabi naman sa akin ni Coach Marvin Geronimo, they know who the shooters are. So they won't be giving them the clean looks that they've been getting in their first 3 games.
Shot clock is down to 3. And a 3-second violation pa na itawag sa Vaikon Builders. So papasok na si Albert Chua to replace Brian Bernabe. (39-13).
Ito na nga. Nandito na si Albert Chua.
Pero ayaw niya nang tumingala. Ayaw niya makita yung score.
But if there's a player that can help his team come back from a 26-point deficit, that's Albert Chua.
Ito yung Mr. Triple-Double ito no? Si Albert Chua. Here he is. Throws a long pass. Jones Sang, i-score na ba? Finally! Hinintay si Albert Chua makarating para lang makakuha ng 2 points. Si Jones Sang, his first basket, second quarter na po tayo. These are just some of the things that is totally mysterious para sa atin lahat. If you have been so used to watching itong GABL natin, and Batya ang ring. Kelwin kahit may sikat ng araw pa doon sa side ng court nila, no problem para sa 3MD Logistics.
Dami na talagang nakakashoot dito sa 3MD Logistics. Makes it more difficult for this team to come back.
Naiwanan Nangulila kay Albert Chua sa pasimula ng ball game. BYD Valenzuela, fast break of the game right there with Jones Sang. His first 2 points here in the first half. Sarap timeout muna tayo. Well, tignan natin kung Superman ang dating ni Albert Chua dito.
I was observing Albert Chua. Hindi na nga siya pumunta doon sa bench for that timeout. I think he was surprised that they were down as much as
I know.
I mean, 20 plus points when he came in. I think he was wondering what happened. Why are we down by 20 plus points? Medyo umiiling pa nga siya ng ulo doon. Talking to Nino Sia.
But it's not a matter of finding out what happened. It's what they can do for things to happen for them with his presence now. Here he is, Jones Ang. It seems to be a bigger problem here. Parang always 2 steps ahead itong 3MD Logistics. Sia is going to be called for the contact. Uy, meron pa tayong titignan yata dito,
Anong review dito? Unsportsmanlike foul?
Baka.
Dahil hindi going for the ball and the fast break opportunity. So that was Nino Sia fouling a Fouling Elijah Lim in transition. So we'll take a look at that last play. Kaso biglang nag-skip.
Oh. Kunyari. Hindi ba kompleto? Trying to make sure yung replay natin maging maayos.
So they're trying to take a look at if that foul of Nino Sia is an advantage foul or an sportsman-like foul in FIBA terms. But I think they're just gonna give it a regular foul.
Marami tayong nakita in the first two games yung mga hang time moves, no? Yung laptop natin, nag-hang time din pala. Joke lang. Maayos yan.
Kailangan na rin magbakasyon yung laptop.
Pwede.
Sakto, mag-Holy Week. Kailangan mo na magpalamig sa Tagaytay.
We all could use the necessary break. Oh. 41-17. Marvin Geronimo knows how to stick to Albert Chua. Bernabe. Albert. He's fouled.
Foul number 4, Allentown. His second personal foul, 13 foul.
Oy, number 2 na yan para kay Allentown.
3MD Logistics playing man-to-man defense with Marvin Geronimo picking up itong si Albert Chua full court.
At yan po, di ba? Pagka hindi kayo masyad nakapag-warm up, kita nyo, Albert Chua. There, finally, splitting his charities. Getting the feel of the venue, the basketball. Kahit ba madalas mo ring hawak yan. Wow, what a play right there. Grabe. Allentown knows how to finish indeed.
A shot there by Jones Ang.
Halos lahat nga na shots si Jones Ang. Puro ganun eh. Hurried, rushed. Tapos nagawang pa ng paraan yung Dale now. 43-18, imagine. We're just here in the first half and trying to hit 50. Kaya ba ito? The 3MD Logistics.
Grabe rin yung muscle to si Dale Nang.
Oh, naibanda pa yun. Iba, Ben Quing.
A lazy pass there.
They're really going to be talking about what happened to them in the first half. Itong Vaikon Builders. Dale Nang with another offensive rebound.
Vaikon Builders having a first half to forget.
Elijah Lim just floats it up. Albert Chua. Limited to 18 points. The hustle of Dale Nang. It will result into this. A layup finish for Elijah Lim.
Oh, this is almost a 30-point lead already.
47-18. Albert Chua. There's a push underneath.
His first personal foul, 14 foul.
Wala pa sa penalty ang 3MD Logistics.
I think that's a bad foul on the... Oh!
Grabe.
Daming great plays, defensive plays nitong 3MD Logistics in this first half.
Dale Nang forcing a turnover on Brian Bernabe sa inbound. Marvin Geronimo, Alan Tan. 5 to shoot. Ball goes out. It stays para sa 3MD Logistics.
Well, if you're Vaikon Builders, hindi ka rin talaga, wala ka na magagawa. 29 points yung lamang. And if you want to start the second half, you have to treat it step by step, possession by possession if you're gonna come back in this game.
At the end of the first half, our score is...
Well, we expected a toe-to-toe fight between these two teams. But of course, ito nga, 47-18 for 3MD Logistics. The way they have managed to come up with this big lead. Well, we'll find out in the second half how to recover, how to make a huge, humongous comeback para sa panig naman ng Vaikon Builders.
Easy and with
May bago? Uy, akin yan!
Wow! Tamis alat! Lutong lambot! Mas nagpapasarap!
Last fita!
Wow! Sa tamis alat sarap! Mas pinasarap pa, pita!
And back here at SGS Stadium, and eto, Tambakan Sunday nga yata. 47-18 in favor of 3MD Logistics. And this is basically the reason, Dean.
Well, iba yung absence talaga ng Albert Chua for the most part of the first half for Vaikon Builders. And they've struggled shooting the ball, only 19%, while 3MD Logistics has been getting a lot of quality looks. Plus, they've been running in transition, already scoring 16 fast break points in this ball game with 16 assists. Then, ang masakit pa dito is 3MD Logistics has 10 steals with Vaikon Builders, totaling 15 turnovers just in one half. So, definitely a first half to forget for Vaikon Builders. But let's see if they can come back with a 29-point deficit to start this third quarter.
Anyway, panik po ng 3MD Logistics. Lording it over is Alan Tan with his 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Over at the other side, ang leading scorer nila si Nino Sia, followed by Julius Gamboa with only 3. And Julius Gamboa is also the leader in rebounds with a total of 6. Brian Bernabe with a couple of assists. Naman para sa panig ng Vaikon Builders, it's going to be like climbing the tallest mountain. And Jones Ang only has 2 points. Muntik po. Naipamigay pa yung bola sa kalaban. And Alan Tan, 14 points na siya in this game.
Sayang yung agaw doon ni Jones Ang. Hindi nila na-capitalize, leading to that fast break of 3MD Logistics.
Something that they need to happen for them. Elijah Lau with a 3-pointer.
And during the halftime, nakita ko nag-circle around itong Vaikon Builders with Albert Chua saying some things to his team. I'm pretty sure it had a lot to do with the 18-point output in the first half.
Alan Tan is crowded right there. Jones Ang, kaya ba? He has to kick it. Alex Sana to Albert Chua, nakabalik na ang depensa. And then a offensive foul on Alex Tan.
Offensive foul number 19, Alex Tan. His first personal foul.
Let's see here. Brad Chong.
I think that's the third foul on Nino Sia.
Siya na naman ba?
Ay,
I'll say Alex Tan.
Alex Tan, sorry.
Alex Tan. Yeah, that was the offensive rebound. Brad Chong, naiwanan na souvenir. Anyway, everything's okay. All part of the game. 49-21. Jomar Albino jumper is in.
It's now up to a 30-point lead for 3MD Logistics.
6 points naman for Jomar Albino.
I mean, I'm not doubting the capability of a Vaikon Builders. That's why they're the #1 scoring team to come back in this ball game. But you're facing the #2 defensive team in this league.
And Alex San lost control of the basketball. He was going up for a shot. Now, bumitaw pa yung
Those
bola.
are the kind of layups that you need to make. Iba yung dikit, iba yung 30, yung hahabulin mo. And alam kong third quarter pa lang, but you can kind of feel the pressure if you're Vaikon Builders kasi ang laki-laki ng hahabulin mo dito.
The flyby. Kilid Dante naman. Albert Chua on the run. Spotting Jones Sang. Nobody. Oh my! Wow. This is turning out to be a not so good a Sunday for Jones Sang with the way he's playing.
Ang hininga ko dun
And Alan Tan continues with his very, very aggressive production here. Albert Chua with a kick. Inusia. Jones Ang. Ala talaga.
1 out of 12 for Jones Ang. And when you give up 10 steals in the first quarter, 15 turnovers. Wala talagang magandang mangyayari para sa'yo if you're Vaikon Builders. And I guess that's what Albert Chua was upset by just looking at his body language coming into this ball game.
And then everything, basically almost everything is falling for 3MD Logistics.
Shooting us 51%.
Albert Chua, his first basket. His first field goal, rather. Kanina, he split his charities. Dale Nang left open. Nope.
Pinatira talaga nila dun si Dale Nang.
Albert Chua hangs, scores! 55-26. Well, the start of a long, hard climb to get them back into this ball game. Jomar Albino, nothing there. Dale Nang, another offensive rebound. Air ball. Opportunity again para sa Vaikon. Pero look at this. Jones Ang. Yon! Kumonekta rin. After how many tries? Specialty ni Jones Ang. Pero ngayon pa lang, the only three-pointer that he has made here in this ball game.
But like I said, 26 points is still a big
Kaya nga
lead. But if you're 3MD Logistics, you might want to bring back your players like Elijah Lim, Mark Jason Tan. Because you don't want to give momentum to a team like Vaikon Builders.
Namco Mitsubishi Ilocos drive of the game. Albert Edsel Chua.
Grabe yun with the outstretched arms of Dale Nang, still finding a way to make that basket.
It only goes to show you anong klaseng paghihirap ang gagawin mo para makabalik sa ball game na ito. Back-to-back fouls on Alex Tan. Julius Gamboa comes back into the game para sa Vaikon Builders. It's going to be free throws here for Alan Tan. And again, Midway Design Center, office systems and home furnishing. You can contact Ray Go, 0917-831-4538. 0917-831-4538. Find out more about Midway Design Center. That's the address.
I think for this third quarter, dahil nga 29 yung hinahabulin nila, maybe you can get it down to 15. That might, you might feel good if you're a Vaikon.
So far, a 12-8 scoring run here in the third period favoring itong Vaikon Builders. Pero we're almost halfway. Gaano kalaki na ng kanilang natapyas doon sa 30 na lamang. Jomar Albino looking left and right. Alan Tan lost the pass. Brian Bernabe to Albert Chua. Brian Bernabe hesitated with a long distance shot. Jones Ang with a miss.
That was a good look.
Four and a half to play here in the third. Albert Chua with a kick. Brian Bernabe. This time he goes for it. Too strong rather. And Julius Gamboa cleans up the mess.
Picking up their rhythm, itong Vaikon Builders after just scoring 8 points and 10 points in the first and second quarters respectively.
It's Albert once again. Inusia. 10 seconds to shoot. Albert Chua with a crossover move. Gets back his own miss. Brian Bernabe. 8 to shoot for Vaikon Builders. Brian Bernabe. Medyo malayo yung pagbitaw eh. Oh, bola pa rin ng Vaikon. 3.2 seconds for Vaikon Builders. Jones on, inbounds it. Hurried shot, di nahulog for Julius Gamboa. Who's got the basketball this time? It's on the side. The 3MD Logistics in Alan Tan. He's got 21 points. He's just a rebound short of a double-double. Albert with a step back. Jomar Albino. Touch pass. Nice one. Elijah Lim.
Relentless itong 3MD Logistics, pushing the pace even with a 27-point lead.
They started off well and basically consistency, and they have been showing that here in this ball game. That backing shot for Jones.
They'll need more of that from him. Only 7 points for Jones Ang, who's their leading scorer, averaging
21.7 points. Elijah Lim lets it fly. Dale Nang, or rather, it's Kelvin Ang who grabbed that offensive rebound. Alan Tan gets his own miss. Kelvin Ang tried the dish inside. Jones Ang right now para sa Vaikon Builders. Brian Bernabe turns, attacks. Julius Gamboa, inagawan ni Alan Tan. 3-on-2. Jomar Albino gets blocked.
Good defense there.
Jomar Albino tries again. Ang hirap bumalik.
Hirap talaga humapol.
Taking a look at the BYD Valenzuela fast break of the game, and the good execution here with Elijah Lim finishing that one for 3MD Logistics. Maybe so far, just only 13 points ang output ng 3MD Logistics here in the third. Pero malaki-laki yung investment nila dun sa first and second quarter.
Kung, uy.
Swerte. Pero pa swerte.
Kung 15 points lang siguro yung lamang nung 3MD Logistics nung first half, pwede pa eh. Pero 29 points.
Halos wala nagbago eh, no? At the end, 61-33. 28 yan eh. Ako,
another steal. That's their 13th of this ball game.
Marvin Eronimo with a layup. Kapapasok lang ulit.
Well, usually hindi umaabot talaga ang steals ng 13. Pero if ganun man, mahirap talagang...
Albert Chua. Julius Gamboa with a nice assist from Albert Chua. Pang-apat na assist si Albert Chua. Julius Gamboa naman, that's his 7th point. Meron pa siyang 8 rebounds.
And I'm sure yung mga players ng 3MD Logistics, pasalamat sila na hindi sinimulan ni Albert Chua yung laro.
Maybe, pero sabi ko nga eh, ginanahan sila, especially in their last game when they went up against Chang Spa na walang alantan, na ipanalo nila yun.
Then another 3-pointer there from Ben-Hur Quang.
He's got 11?
11 points.
Albert
Tatlo na yung
Chua.
tres nun.
Half a minute remaining here in the third. Marvin Geronimo. Albert Chua.
Blocking foul there. But a good foul.
Oh, wala pa sa penalty.
Good foul there on the part of Coach Marvin Geronimo. With Albert Chua trying to break away for a fast break opportunity.
Last shot time. Albert Chua, air ball. Visibly the frustration here to be down big. Especially Albert Chua. As soon as he got here, discovering that they're down and the deficit that they have to chop big. Like chopping a big tree, rather. Let's see. Fourth quarter, you have 10 minutes and you're down 30. Well, you can do your math. Ilang puntos kada segundo, kada minuto para makabalik lang sa ball game na ito.
I don't go for bare minimum, be it for myself, my career, or my car.
Coming from the States, we have very high standards, and Namco has not only met my expectations, but their staff has been more than accommodating.
Kaya naman sa Namco talaga, napanatag ang loob ko.
Sure win ako with Namco.
Detoy ni Ed Dakiwag, proudly Ilocano. Detoy ti Namco. Detoy ti mapagtalkan. Also, proudly Ilocano.
May bago? Uy, akin yan!
Wow! Tamis alat! Lutong lambot! Mas nagpapasarap!
Last fita!
Wow! Sa tamis alat sarap! Mas pinasarap pa, pita!
Alright, tuloy tayo. Fourth quarter na. 30 ang hahabulin ng Vaikon Builders. 30 or mahigit pa ang pinoprotektahan naman na lamang nito mga panig ng 3MD Logistics.
They weren't able to cut down on that 29-point lead going into the second half. Nadagdagan pa nga ng isa pa. Kaya we're starting the third quarter with Vaikon being down 30 points.
Kelvin Ang drives, opens up the scoring here in the fourth period for 3MD Logistics. Albert Chua with a three. Nope. He's got 8 points in the ball game.
And if you're 3MD Logistics, you can afford to take your time every single possession. Kahit siguro hindi sila sumut ditong quarter.
Hindi pa rin abutan eh. No?
Baka hindi pa rin abutan nitong Vaikon Builders because solid din yung defense nitong 3MD Logistics. Number 2 defense in this tournament coming into this ball game.
Alex San blocked.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
Hindi rin nag-hold down ang depensa ng 3MD Logistics. Mark Jason Tan coming up with that shot block. Alex Tan, catch and shoot off the inbound. Malaki-laki na na puhunan na lamang.
And if ikaw ay kaka-tune in nyo lang dito sa game na ito, magugulat kayo, bakit 30 yung lamang? Well, just to explain, nag-struggle talaga yung Vaikon builders in the first half, especially Albert Chua not playing for the most part of it.
May panggulat din na ginawa naman itong 3MD Logistics. They don't care whoever is it. Kung sino ang wala, kung sino ang nandyan. They just kept going at it. And there were also a lot of turnovers. Of course, lost din itong panig ng Vaikon Builders without the presence in the early goings ng game. Na wala nga si Albert Chua. And now he's trying to come up. Pero hindi ganun kadali. You end the first two quarters down 29. And then natapos ang third, you're up 30. And ito yung, kahit 10 minuto yung buong fourth quarter, magiging manipis yun para sa Vaikon Builders. Hindi bali sana. Yun nga sabi mo, kahit hindi makashoot, nakakashoot pa. Itong 3MD Logistics. Basically, this is going to be a statement game din para sa kanila, especially sa kanilang mga kalaban dito sa 35 and above natin for the Namco Mitsubishi Ilocos Cup.
They're gonna break the 3-game winning streak of Vaikon Builders to start this tournament. And then, they're gonna get their third straight win, itong 3MD Logistics.
Coming into this game na, sunod-sunod na mga panalo nitong dalawang teams na ito. Kelwin Ang with a big smile on his face, taking care of a 35-point lead.
This is one of the rare instances wherein tapos na yung laro nung first half.
Kaya nga Jason Tan underneath scores 37-point lead. And the way Jones Sang has played here in this ball game, only 1 3-pointer. And it took so long before he could even register his first basket. 6:03 to play here. Nino Sia will pick up his fourth. And more problems para sa panig ng Vaikon Builders.
And na-build na rin kasi ng confidence ng 3MD Logistics to start the ball game. Kaya mahirap na pigilin yun You have that confidence, you're making a lot of baskets. That's why that third quarter attempt coming from Vaikon Builders to catch up in this ball game na weather nitong 3MD Logistics.
Well, nilabas na yung mga starters.
Inupo na si Albert Chua.
Futile effort na basically.
And their leading scorer, si Jones Ang. Because I think it's already pointless if you're gonna play it out. Kasi 5 minutes left, down 37. Pretty much an impossible feat.
Tama yung sinasabi mo For mga late tuners, yun lang pagtataka nila. Anong nangyari sa Vaikon Builders?
Pumasok si Albert Chua, I think less than 5 minutes in the second quarter. Tapos 21 points na yung lamang dun ng 3MD Logistics. And if there's one thing that this team has proved, they're a solid defensive team.
Well, of course, the 3MD Logistics, sabi ko nga, they changed the whole story. They changed the whole expectations here for Vaikon Builders. They just kept going. They didn't even care. Hindi naman nila problema yun. Kung kulang itong Vaikon Builders, they don't have their best player on the floor. They just kept going. Elijah Lim with a miss.
Well, Vaikon Builders has 2 more games left. They're gonna go up against La Cherie, who is after this game will be the remaining undefeated team, 3-0, and then you have Chang Spa, who is currently 2-1. Itong 3MD Logistics, 2 more games left against M-Track and go up and up.
Marvin Geronimo lets it fly. 4.5. Basically, going through the motions. Pero syempre, yung Vaikon Builders don't want to lose, yung kanilang mga game plans, yung execution. Elijah Lau hitting a 3-pointer. Forget about the score na ito eh.
You have to chalk this one up.
Learn yun na yun eh.
Learn from this.
Basta talo, learning experience.
Ika nga ni Chotres, learning experience.
But that's true naman talaga eh, di ba? Hindi ibig sabihin na natalo ka. Kailangan may natutunan ka kung bakit ka natalo, you know? And the things that you have to adjust going into the next game. It's not the end of the world.
And ang importante dyan is you need to have Albert Chua to start the ball game. Yun ang ultimate adjustment.
Hindi mo rin kasi masabi eh, yung mga schedule, di ba?
Oh, and Albert Chua is also playing doon sa 40 above inter-school, Philchai inter-school tournament.
Eh dito kumbaga, when you mention pride is at stake, yung mga batches lang eh. Basically, yung mga age group eh. Of course, that other league is telling you something else. Dahil iba-ibang schools na yon. Yun, mga school pride na talaga yun. Eh? Yung mga alumni association and what they can still do.
Sa 3MD, si Brad Chong na lang ang hindi nakaka-shoot. Pero everyone that they played in this game has contributed in the scoring department.
(81-45). So that win streak will continue para rito sa 3MD Logistics. And of course, they're going to break that streak naman and snap it for Vaikon Builders.
Siguro ang mapupuha mo na lang dito if your Vaikon Builders is at least dito ka na natalo kesa sa semis, which is winner, parang win or go home ka dun eh, or yung sa finals. There's still the team to beat in this tournament.
Well, it's basically a back-to-earth experience para sa Vaikon Builders. As we enter the final 2 minutes of this ball game. To Elijah's that time around. And it's also gaining some traction then for the experience and the confidence of the other teams who are going to be coming off the bench the next time they play here.
Well, for our next game, our last game, we have 2 winless teams, M-Track tsaka Go Up and Up. So sana naman dikit yung laro, Sir Benji.
So far, dahil nga 3 games, tambakan eh, no?
Tambakan. Ito, 40 points. Yung kanina, parang 30. Tapos yung first game, 20 plus din yung laban.
Kaya nga. Julius Gamboa. Sabi nga natin, for some of the other players to try to rediscover themselves on what they can do on the floor. This may already be a lost cause eh. Pero individually, they have to improve. And of course, yung mental toughness. seconds ticking away. This ball game is already over and done with. Sabi mo nga kanina, Dino, first half pa lang tapos na itong game na to eh.
Well, I thought they could have made the comeback in the third quarter, but na whether 3MD nasabayan din sila eh. Wala rin.
Well, kumbaga reality check for Vaikon. With 3MD Logistics, happy to continue with their wins. Well, how this ball game and how the fourth quarter, when you can have players playing so inspired, build up the confidence, execute what they came in here for, a game plan done wonderfully. And for Vaikon, maybe next time. Final score, 87-48, 3MD Logistics.
They got smacked in this ball game, itong Vaikon Builders, after winning 3 straight ball games coming into this game against 3MD Logistics. But in the middle of that 39-point win is none other than Alan Tan, who was our MVP last season, putting up 21.16 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, leading his team again. And coming back in his last game absence para dito sa 3MD Logistics.
Well, stand by, M-Track. Laban sa Go Up and Up for more of Bounty Fresh GABL 2025.